Hi, everyone. We are live. I am here with Ashlyn and our associate producer, Vanessa, and we've got Kate in the chat here on Ashlyn's team to welcome you to this webinar. I am so excited. If you are here and you can see us and you can hear me okay, let us know by telling us in the chat where you are coming from in the world today. So you'll see a chat box. Just click on that little chat bubble, open up the chat. Now there'll be a bar that is defaulted to all panelists. Make sure you change that to all panelists and attendees. That's a first action item you're going to want to do today so that we can all see who you are, what you're saying, and where you're coming from, because we use that chat a lot during this workshop because we want to hear from you. So if you can hear me and see me like Josie from Minneapolis and Carly from South Central Washington and Barb and Leslie, let us know in the chat. That way we know that we're coming through to you wherever in the world you are, like Calgary in Canada. I've got a couple people from Canada, actually.
Oh, this is so fun.
So fun. And I am in San Diego, California, by the way, and my name's Isa, in case any of you are just arriving. And then, Ashlyn, where are you in the world?
I'm in ATL, and we've got somebody else in here from Atlanta. And also, I have a Gadsden, Alabama friend. Is that Danny? I'm from around there originally, so yay.
Oh, yay. And then I also am here with Vanessa. She'll be helping out in the chat along with Kate. Vanessa, where are you from?
Hey, everybody. Welcome. I am from Nashville. I didn't see anybody from Nashville yet, but I know somebody from Nashville is in here. So let me know where you're from. Let me know if you're from Nashville and you're here in the building. Thank you, Danielle. I knew I wasn't alone. Thank you. Thank you.
Right? There's always someone. Nashville's
always
the kind of place. I love it.
Nashville's the it city. But welcome, everybody.
So, Vanessa, did you watch the Kristen Cavallari show?
I didn't. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't, but I remember her from being on Laguna Beach before. So
yeah,
it was kind of nostalgic.
My husband and I watched it last night, and it's like all Nashville. So
you may see me in there. I don't know. You may or may not. So we'll see.
I'm gonna have to check that out too. I love a good reality show. I can't help it. Well, welcome everyone, and Kate, let us know where you're from too. Ashlyn, you might know. But Kate, I'd love to know where Kate is too. Okay, Kate. So let us know in the chat, Kate, where you are.
Yeah.
Oh, Ottawa, Canada. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're representing the Canadians for us today. I love it. Well, thank you all for joining us from all around the world. Canada, I saw someone from the UK, baby, as she said. So I love that. I'm so excited to be talking about building an email list because that's also something that you do all around the world. People from all around the world join your email list or want to join your email list. And maybe you're wondering, how does that work? How can that happen? That is what we're here to talk about today. So you are in the right place. And this kind of feeling of like connection that we're all having right now, that's actually what list building is all about. So I'm very excited for this workshop. Before I get started, Ashlyn, anything you want to say before we go?
I'm just so grateful that so many of y'all hopped on here. It's always when you trust kind of like your list, your people to somebody else, you're like, okay, I'm going to put my people in front of them, y'all are so excited. And I'm so pumped to partner with ConvertKit, which I'll let Isa explain a little more, some name stuff. But this is just a brand and a company that I've worked with for, I guess, a little over 2 years now. And I'm so excited to talk about email marketing with y'all. It's the best.
Yay. Well, I'm so excited too. Everyone, Vanessa will be going off camera, but she is still here along with Kate. So when you have a question all throughout this workshop, or even if there's one in your head right now that you're like, I want to know this, put it in the Q&A box. You'll see a little Q at the bottom. Click on that. Any questions you have, put them there so we don't lose them. But all of the thoughts in your head, your reactions, I'm going to be asking you quite a few questions throughout this workshop. Put those answers in the chat box. So questions, Q&A box, thoughts and feelings in the chat box. I'm gonna be watching that the whole time. If you see me looking over here, I'm looking at you. Got the chat box up here. I love to see what you're thinking all throughout this workshop. It'll be about an hour, and there will be some free stuff at the end, which I will definitely share with you, which I'm very excited about. So we are gonna be talking about, as I mentioned, how to build your email list, specifically the top 10 list building techniques to get your first or next 1,000 subscribers. And I am Isa. I'm in San Diego, California, and I'm the webinar producer for ConvertKit, who is actually now called Seva. So you are literally the first webinar ever, by the way. You're a part of history here where we are calling ourselves Seva. I haven't done a webinar since we announced this name change. So we just announced this name change live at our conference last week, and things are going to be slowly transitioning over the next couple months. So if you see Seva in one place and ConvertKit in another, that is because Charlie, our amazing designer who made this slide for me, is working really hard to transition everything. So you might hear us say Seva, you might hear us say ConvertKit. It's all the same thing. It's all about helping you build a community and helping you build an email list. And part of the work that I've been doing is meeting with amazing people like Ashlyn who are making a full-time living online. And I am asking them always, how are you doing that? How are you building the email list that is helping you do that? And that is where these top 10 list building techniques come from. These are not top 10 that I just made up or top 10 I found somewhere else. These are the top 10 things that I have seen those earning a full-time living online. This is what they're doing to grow their email list. And that's what I want to share with you today. So as I mentioned, my name's Issa. I'm the webinar producer at Seva, formerly ConvertKit. And this is Ugly Sweater Issa. This is me 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago now, actually. Before I had an email list, this was me at my day job. We had an Ugly Sweater Christmas party, and I had a dream for a business. I had a dream to write a book. I didn't know anything about email marketing or tech. I just knew that I wanted to do something different with my life. And I started doing what you're doing right now, going on free trainings. It was teleseminars back in the day. So I listened to these teleseminars just like this on my lunch break to learn about how to get my book out there, how to start a business. And it all kept coming back to this idea of building an audience, that if you want to create something that you want to share with other people, you want to be able to reach them directly, and you want to build an audience and build a group of people, a community who are actually interested in what you're doing. And so I started building my first email list, setting up my first automated emails. It wasn't huge. I just did a couple things and I started growing my list. And slowly but surely, a year later, I had an email list that helped me build a full-time business. And I quit that job and I had my own six-figure business for many, many years. And that book was published, and it all started with doing something like this. So I just want you to give yourself a pat on the back, if you haven't already, for taking time out of your very busy life to do this. Not everyone does this. Like, a lot of people sign up for webinars and then they don't show up, right? Like, you made it here, and that's not because it was easy for you. It's because you actually made it a priority and you're doing it. And that makes you pretty special. It means you actually have what it takes to do this kind of list building that we're going to be talking about. So I would love to know a little more about you. Where are you in your business right now? So give me a 1, 2, 3, or 4, whichever one best represents you, or just tell me in your own words, where are you in your business right now? And as you do that, Ashlyn, what was that beginning for you when you realized, oh, like I need to build an email list? And what was that aha moment for you, and how did it change your life? Oh, Ashlyn, I think you're on mute.
Here we go. I like click and stuff and like put my mug down. So I was like, I want to be respectful of you. I know there's somebody else out there who can relate to this, especially watching y'all's numbers roll in. And it's so fun to see names that I know. I just remember when I was working my day job. Many of you know I worked in corporate marketing, and I just got this bug in the back of my mind when I started seeing women step into jobs that they actually loved. And I remember being like, it's possible to like crazy love your job. And so I started listening to business podcasts. Many of us know that rabbit hole, and everybody was talking about email lists. And so I'd be driving to work and I kept hearing like, you've got to start your email list soon. You've got to start it right when you start your business. And I just remember being like, okay, this is something that's serious. If I do this business thing, I really need to consider beyond Instagram, which a bunch of our community loves, and beyond Facebook, but actually having an email list. So that's probably like the moment where I started to realize it was important.
Awesome. And I see we have a big variety of people, quite a lot of you making some money, and a few of you making a full-time living. So that's pretty incredible. Congratulations to you. And a lot of you have a website already. So you're really on top of this. So that is really, really exciting. I'd also love to know what your business is about. I already saw that Colleen has a photography business. So I want to know who we have in the room today. What is your business topic? What is it that you're selling or that you want to sell? I see Melissa as event planning, Jeanette, wedding planner. Oh, Kirsten, lettering services. I love lettering. As you can see, I like put it on my walls. Love it. Nurse education software. Never had anyone who did nurse education software. So that's pretty cool. French language classes, and then a bunch of other incredible stuff. This is what this workshop's all about. We're going to be talking about how to grow your email list and how to get more people to find you. But what this is really about is getting more people to buy your photography book, Kate, right? Or more people to hire you as an event planner. That is what this workshop's all about. Just having a random email list to say that you have one doesn't help you if it's not really focused on what you do. And hopefully you're doing something you really love, right? That's what's motivating you to be here. And we want to find those other people who really love what you love and who need the great work that you do, like maybe some great lettering. So that is what this is really all about. And I'd also love to know, why do you want to build an email list? Like right now, what is your primary motivation based on where you are in your business? Are you specifically trying to sell more of a particular thing, book clients for something? Like, what is it? I think it's really good to spell it out. So tell us in the chat, like, why do you want to build an email list? Because building an email list alone doesn't matter as much as what matters to you and what matters to your business. Like for me, my initial motivation was I wanted to get my book out into the world. I wanted to get my book out to the people I was writing it for. That's what it was about for me, right? It wasn't about anything else. So I would love to know what that is for you, but also for you to just spell it out, even though you probably know. It's good to write it down. Book clients I'm seeing a lot of, which I really am excited about, booking clients. So we're definitely going to be talking about that. And an email list is a really great way to attract and connect with new clients. So I'm definitely going to keep the client stuff in mind all throughout this workshop. So we got a lot of client people loving it.
Lisa, I remember I was like, I just want calligraphy clients and copywriting clients if I'm going to keep this business sustainable.
Yes. And that's all you have to focus on is that reason that you just put in the chat, because you'll see there's lots of different reasons to build an email list. There's lots of ways to build an email list. There's lots of things to do with your email list. And sometimes it can be overwhelming. And that's what I want you to really focus on, what you just typed in the chat. That's all you need to focus on, right? If it's not a strategy, even throughout this workshop, if it's not a strategy that doesn't fit your ultimate goals, don't do it. Don't worry about it. There's not only one way to do an email list. There's only the right way for you based on that goal that you just wrote down. I'd also love to know where you are in your email list. How many subscribers do you have right now? And again, there's no right or wrong number either. There's people who make a living with 200 email subscribers, right? So there's no comparing here. You can only compare it to yourself and your goals, but this gives me a good sense of where you all are with list building. So we've got a lot of beautiful zeros, which I love because that's kind of exciting. Like all of this will be a brand new addition to your business, which means it can make a really big difference. And Ashley said 10 sad face. No sad face, Ashley. If you had 10 people show up to your house for dinner, that'd be a pretty big deal, right? These are people who want to hear from you. They have said, yes, I want you in my inbox. That's a really big deal. So even a few people you should be very proud of, very, very proud of, because that's where everyone starts, right? And the good news is that you don't have to have a huge list to earn a living online. So if your goal, like a lot of you, is to have clients, to help this build your business, it's not about having the most people on your email list. It's about having the right people. And I see some of you are already going with this. I saw Ruth has 600 people. That's a great list. I saw someone over 1,000. So also those of you who are here, as you see some of these strategies, if you can attest that, yes, I did this and this is how I built my list, let us know. Or if you have others, tell us what worked for you. We'd love to hear that too. So definitely keep an eye on that chat too. We've got some really cool people here. We also did a survey last year and found out that people who were using email marketing versus those who weren't using it at all, so they were just using other channels, those who were using email earned a little bit more than those who weren't using it at all, which is why I get excited about the zeros, because if you're not really doing email yet, that's actually kind of exciting. There's a lot more that you could be doing to grow. And we're going to talk about exactly how to do that. And Ashlyn, I'm curious for you, has this kind of been true? Does email connect with your income? And if so, kind of how?
Hand over fist. Yeah, that stat is crazy. I knew there was some statistic I saw one time that it's like for every $1 you spend on email marketing, you make back X amount. But this statistic is my favorite. Yeah, I saw that because, and I told my list, we can talk about it later, but I started building it, but didn't send anything, like the cardinal rule, didn't send anything to them for months and months and just did client emails instead. And started using it and saw this correlation happen.
Wow. That's awesome. And I love that you started building it anyway, even before you were ready to write anything. That's okay, right? Like that's okay too. For any of you who are like, I got to have this whole plan. I got to know exactly what to say. Nope. Ashlyn's doing great. And she just started building her list and didn't even know what to say for a while. That's okay.
Better than perfect, maybe.
Exactly. Exactly. It's better to just start building it and then figure it out as you go. I have seen everyone I know making a full-time living online. That's exactly how they did it. So don't you all worry. As I mentioned, I work at Seva, formerly ConvertKit. One of the reasons we changed our name is to fit this plaque. This is a plaque that Nathan Berry, our founder, handmade, and gave to us at our retreat last year in McCall, Idaho. It's actually coming up again in a couple months. That's kind of crazy. And he gave this to us almost a year ago now. And we all have it on our desk. And this is why we are here. So our software is built specifically for creators, for artists, for photographers, for people who are doing their business themselves. But it's also why we do these workshops. So I'll show you how to do some of this stuff in ConvertKit/Seva. Towards the end of this workshop, I will show you exactly how you could set some of this up. But all of the strategies that we're going to be talking about, you can use no matter what email software that you use. So we do these workshops just to share the education, regardless of if you use Seva, formerly ConvertKit, or not. So we're going to go through those top 10 list building techniques I told you about. We're going to talk about where to find the right people for your email list. Where do you find people who want to become your photography clients? And what about if you want them to become your lettering clients? How do you find the right people for you, people who will actually love your work and buy your stuff? Because just having random people on your email list won't help you at all, right? You want to find the right people. So we're going to talk about how to do that. And we're also going to talk about the best opt-ins to create and where to promote them. And so an opt-in, if you're brand spanking new to email marketing, is a free thing you'll give away in exchange for someone's email address. So instead of join my newsletter, it becomes get this free checklist to help you do this. You've probably subscribed to these, right? So we're going to be talking about the best things to do to really get people on that list, and then where to promote them so that people actually see what you're giving away. And as a reminder, there will be some free stuff at the end. I'm actually going to insert it kind of in the middle of this workshop so that you can definitely get in on all the free stuff. So you will see that, and I will let you know when that's coming. But there's only free stuff on this workshop, including some special bonuses just for those of you who are here on the live webinar. So definitely stick around to the end if you can. Now I'm going to go pretty fast because I know how busy you are, but I want you to know that you will get a replay of this in your inbox so that you will get to look back on it. So if anything goes too fast, you're like, go back to that slide, or, I want to look over that again, you will have that chance. So don't you worry about it. So before we jump into those top 10, I just want to know in the chat, what is your biggest list building question right now? Like, why did you come to this webinar? What was that one question you're like, I really hope they answer this for me, because this is the biggest mystery to me right now, or this is the thing I'm struggling with, or this is just the thing I really want to figure out. And this is why I took the time to be here today. I want to make sure I know what that is, so that I don't leave you hanging, because you're here. Colleen said, where to start? LOL. Well, Colleen, I got you there. Chelsea, how to find the right people. A lot of how to get started from zero, which is really good because we're going to be talking about that. And then how to get in front of ideal clients. Josie said, I have opt-ins with poor conversion rates. Josie, thank you for sharing that. That is wonderful to hear. I'm sure it's not great for you that it's poor conversion rates, but that's normal, right? And I'm glad that you shared it and glad that you're here, because that's exactly what we're going to be talking about, how to create the kind of opt-ins that have high conversion rates that people really want to sign up for. Okay, good. You're all in the right place. This is very exciting, right? This is exactly what we're going to be talking about. Good. So with that, we're going into our top 10 list with the first thing to do to grow your email list. Now, a couple of these, and I'll always tell you, some of them will be optional. I'll say, hey, this will be great if this sounds good to you. You don't have to do this one, but I'm going to give you the top 10 again. These are the things people are doing to earn a full-time living online. It doesn't mean they do all of them. It doesn't mean you have to do all of them. It just means these are the 10 that work. There's a couple, though, that I will always tell you, this is one that they all do. They all do it. They all have it in common. And if you skip this one, none of the others will work. This first one is one of those. Okay. The first list building technique is to commit to focusing on true fans only and ignoring everybody else. And you've probably heard me hint at this already. This is, believe it or not, the most important thing about building an email list, and it's the biggest mistake people make. So who is a true fan, first of all? What do I mean by that? A true fan is someone who will buy anything you create or maybe hire you for any service that you provide. This true fandom came from an article I love by Kevin Kelly, who said, to be a successful creator, you don't need millions of fans, you just need thousands. And he wrote this article talking about artists and saying, you can make a full-time living as an artist. You don't need to be a famous person with millions of Twitter followers to do this. You actually only need thousands of true fans, because a true fan will buy everything you do, right? That's that. You can even think of, what are you a true fan of, right? Like if you love a certain band, every time they launch an album, you buy it. Every time they come to town, you go to the concert. Maybe you buy a t-shirt, right? Believe it or not, you don't have to be a rock star to have true fans. I know a ton of online creators. I'm a fan of some of them, and I buy every course they put out, every new book that they have, right? And their email lists and their emails and their communications, they're all focused on speaking to that true fan. It doesn't mean everyone on their email list buys everything they create, right? It doesn't mean that they attract lots of other people who maybe aren't diehard fans. They will. But the focus is on the true fans and really focusing on them. And that is a strategy that I've heard really can change everything for a lot of people. And it's kind of a relief, because you'll know your true fans a lot better and know how to speak to them a lot better. Ashlyn, I saw you shaking your head a lot. Is this something that you do or something that you've seen in the copywriting world too?
Yeah, and I love how you were like, here's, like, these are the mistakes not to make. Well, number one, I'm like, this is what I did when I first started my list. I was like, anybody that wants to be on this list, I don't really know what it's going to be about, but just come on in for the party. And so my email list was like family, friends, like old coworkers. Like it was all over the place. I just wasn't connecting that I only needed people who were like going to be interested in what I had to offer. So I just wanted the number. Like the number was more important to me. And it even correlates now. Like I was thinking, because obviously our list is, it's grown a lot, but we get tons of unsubscribes every single email we send out there. But I'm just like, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, that's okay. Like, that's okay. It doesn't bother me. I think at first it used to bother me when I have like under 1,000 people on my list. Every unsubscribe would just be like shot to the heart. But now It's like, it's okay.
Exactly. And that is what I see all across the board. The hundreds of creators I've talked to who are earning a full-time living online, they say the same thing, like unsubscribes that used to hurt. And now I'm like, good. Like, I just want the people who want to be a part of this. It creates a whole different freedom too. And I love all the comments, by the way, Ashlyn. You have a lot of true fans in the room right now. And I love Ariel said, I'm one of those for Ashlyn. I bought many products from her, and she's probably the only one I read every email she sends in all caps. And I love that, because all of you who are here, like, there are people out there in the world who will feel the same way about you, who will want to read every email you send, who want to be on your email list, and you will actually affect their lives. Like, you all are here right now on this webinar, and like, I'm talking to you, we're here in this moment because of Ashlyn's email list. Like, we're meeting in this little virtual place from all around the world right now. And I think that's pretty incredible. And that's what can happen for you with this community that you can build, and these clients, hopefully, that you can connect with too. So the math behind all of this, Kevin Kelly said that if you had, for example, 1,000 true fans, and you launched some kind of product or service that was $100 every year, and they bought every one, that would be about $100,000 a year. So of course, there's lots that go into this, a lot of variables here, but it's a nice little formula just to give a sense of what this could look like. And most importantly, why it's so valuable to focus on true fans. So to start, I would love for you to think about who are your true fans or potential true fans? If you're brand new, you can just start guessing more about your true fans. If you've already been doing this a little bit, you probably know a little bit of the answers to these questions, right? What do they like? What are they struggling with? And what do they want? So you notice here, I'm not mentioning demographic information. That can totally be something that might be a part of who your true fans are. But what really holds your true fans together and what will help you as you think about your email list is thinking about like who they are, what their problems are, where they really want to be in their life, what the gaps are in between where they are and where they want to be, and what it is that you do fill those gaps. I mean, that's what it's all about. But really thinking through who they are and identifying them and thinking about it is what really sets a great email list apart. Notice we're not jumping into tech. We're not jumping into here's how to build the traffic, because you could do all of that. But if you skip this part, if you skip really getting to know who you're for, none of that stuff will work very much, and it will be very frustrating and very disheartening. So for those of you who all were like, where do I start? This is where you start. Getting to know your true fans, thinking about who they are. If you spent the next few weeks just researching and thinking about your true fans, that would be time well spent. So I've got a couple action items for you all throughout this workshop that you're welcome to write down. So for those of you who really want to take action, right, I hope you feel really inspired from this workshop, but I also want you to feel like you know what to do. So one thing you could do today is get specific on who you're here to help, like we talked about, and write it down. You can even do it right now. I have it on a little note card in my desk I'm pulling out right now. I know you can't see that, but it helps me looking at like, who am I for? And so I encourage you to write down somewhere, take a peek at it every day and remind yourself who this is all about. I don't know if it will do the same for you, but it helps me really calm down when I'm feeling stressed and overwhelmed with all the things. It just helps to remember it's really just about these people, right? Number 2 is to then research your true fans. And you saw me hint this a little bit. So once you kind of have a sense of who you're for, and feel free to share that in the chat as well, if you're starting to kind of get a sense of who your true fan is, you're going to want to do some research on them. Actually start to find out more about who they are and what they want, because that is the big old secret to finding your perfect opt-in incentive idea, right? Because the perfect opt-in incentive for someone who does lettering is not going to work for someone with a photography business, right? Two totally different things. There's not one perfect opt-in incentive that works for everybody. If there was, everyone would be doing it, but it doesn't exist. The big thing I've seen that works for everyone across the board is that they've simply taken the time to research who they're for. They've really thought about what those people need, and then they create something that will help them. It's usually very, very simple, but it takes some time to really do some of that research.
Isa, can I chime in real quick on something?
Yes, please.
Okay, Carly, you asked, and I know Carly's business well. She's one of our students, and I saw a few others of you ask. Raise your hand if you either have like multiple client avatars or you've got more than one audience. I saw there was a few questions when we first started. Okay, Ashley, that's right. You're like that. Alicia, okay. So Alina, 3, wow. Okay, raising hand, yes. So that was my business, and I think it was one of the biggest things that when I went through that phase where I started my list and then I had that crickets period where I didn't send out anything, it's because I had no idea. I was like, how do I serve both of these? The best advice I can give you right now is just, like, it's going to be hard, but don't try to do, like, what is the saying? When you chase 2 rabbits, you get neither. Just chase one. Right now, just pick one of them to think about for this workshop. And then after the workshop, when things ballooned for me, it's because I decided, okay, I'm just going to focus on people who need copywriting. I'm not going to worry about people who need calligraphy right now. Then when that side worked, I went back and started on the calligraphy side. Okay, thank you, Confucius. That's who said that. But yeah, so right now, just think of one of your, like I know some people do family portrait sessions, bridal engagement, like you serve all the different people who have different pain points, as we talk about a lot with copywriting. So I was just going to say that's your assignment right now. Just pick one to think about for this workshop.
Yes. Oh, Ashlyn, that is such good advice. Thank you. I see a lot of people feeling relieved by that. So I'm really glad. So yes, you can absolutely in Seva, like focus on different audiences. You can create tags and have them separate. But if you try to do all of that at once, like Ashlyn's saying, it will be super overwhelming. So even as we go through this workshop, as I ask you all these questions, right now, pick the one you're going to focus on. Because what you can do with this workshop is plan everything out for that first group. And then once you've got that going, all you'll have to do then is just repeat it, make a couple tweaks, and you'll know exactly what to do. So I love that. Keep it focused. So as you're thinking about that first group you're going to focus on, you're going to want to create something that's going to attract just them, right? Because you can have different forms and different opt-in incentives for different people, but you don't want to try to do them all at once. So as you think of that first one, you're going to think about what you could create that would make them want to join your email list. So this is an example of a form on Seva. This is one on my own personal blog, and I have a free email course that people can get. So they're actually getting something, they're getting free teaching. So you can see it's not just join my email list, right? I'm giving them something of value. And if that seems overwhelming to you, a free email course, for example, I'll tell you a little bit later, but I created that in an hour. So this doesn't have to be complicated. What you'll want to do to figure out what that opt-in incentive should be for that group, your true fans that you're thinking about right now, the ones that you have in your head, is you're going to want to do some research to find out more about them so that you can figure out what it is that you could give away that would really, really resonate with them. So these are some of my absolute favorites. They're not the only ones. My most favorite research technique is the first one, reading related book reviews. So you can go to Amazon.com, for example, and type in your topic under books. And then you're going to read the reviews. And you might be thinking, oh, I'm not an author. I'm doing photography, right? Like, well, how would this relate? But what you're going to be looking at is books that your true fans might read, books about your topic, books that people who would want to hire you would read related to what you do. And you're going to look at the 3-star reviews. That particularly comes from Pat Flynn, because a 3-star review will be someone telling you what they liked and what they didn't like. And this is so exciting because as you read these reviews, you'll start to see what people still need help with. They'll tell you, I really love this, but I'm still having this problem, or this book didn't solve this problem. What you're doing when you read book reviews is you're just getting feedback and comments from people who are willing to pay for your topic. So even if you have nothing to do with books, this strategy is still for you because it'll give you a really good sense of people honestly telling you what they still need help with, as well as what really resonated with them. And you can see there's a whole bunch of other ways you can do this too, looking in related forums, groups, threads, and then these different keyword search places like Answer the Public, Google, and KW Finder. All of those will teach you what are people searching for online. When they're looking for you, what are they automatically asking? What are they searching for? This will give you a really good clue of those common pain points that people are searching for. Ashlyn, anything to add on this? Because I know you are a pro when it comes to copywriting and really getting to know people and then mirroring that back to them. Any other advice when it comes to researching?
I love researching. I think that it's like client work is 60% researching, 40% writing. Sometimes I feel like I dropped this in the chat, but like for an example for our audience, like our audience, our industry, there's a lot of people that when they start an email list, they start educating on how to do what they do. And so I just want to challenge those of you who are thinking about that and think like, for example, the wedding planning example, go on Amazon and look up books about how to plan a wedding. And then scroll down to those reviews. The 3-star trick totally works. I did it 2 days ago when I was researching something.
Awesome.
You go, you look for, you like sort it by 3-star, and then you look and those people will be like, it was great. I learned how to blah, 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 blah. But what I really didn't figure out from this was how to set up my reception for blah, 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 and you're just getting information. You're just finding little things that, a lot of people need help with that. I know that. That's what I do. I can create a freebie about it.
Yes, exactly. That will give you a lot of inspiration for what to write and what to create, right? So as you see these problems, you're going to want to create something that will solve one of those problems. One other research technique that I love is you can ask yourself some of these questions. So if you have experience in the work that you do, if that is why you do the business that you do, sometimes your own answers to questions like this will help you think about what problems you could solve through an email opt-in. Or you can just also ask your friends and family. So for some people, their friends and family will ask them the same question over and over based on their product or service. And then they realize, hey, people really need help with this. I'll create an opt-in for it. Or you can literally ask them any of these questions and see what they say if you're really, really lost. You can even send them this text. This is a text message that I actually sent my friends and family one night. I just grabbed my phone. I literally just copied and pasted to the 10 people who were in my messages that I had been texting with that week. And it was kind of an experiment actually for this webinar. I was like, let me try this. I feel like this could help because I was making my own new form. I was transitioning businesses. I was kind of starting from scratch all over again. And I sent this to 10 people just to see if anything would happen. And all 10 texted me back that very evening. It made my day as they told me what they thought I was really good at. And they gave me a lot of really good ideas for different opt-ins I could create. What really surprised me is over half of them kind of said the same thing. And that really made me realize, this is something I'm good at that people really want to know, that's related to the kind of writing that I do. And I honestly wouldn't have really realized it until I had done this research because it was so obvious to me. It was so normal and basic to me, actually, because I had been doing it for 10 years. So sometimes it's really easy to forget what people need and what we know that could really help them because it's kind of obvious to you, right? You're doing a business on it. You know a lot. But sometimes there's really just some basic stuff that would mean the world to people and that would really save them a lot of steps and attract the right clients. And that's what we're going to be talking about too. So then what you'll do is hone in on one of those problems that you learned through your research and create something simple to give them a quick win. So I saw some of you saying like, sometimes I feel like I research so much and then I'm like, I don't make the thing. So for those people, because actually I want to say to you, first of all, like good job doing research. It actually is something that a lot of people skip. So it's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing. But I know there's sometimes where you're researching and researching and researching and you're too scared to do anything with it. I'd say if that's you, you know who you are, right? You know, if you struggle with analysis paralysis, right? There's just different people. Some people don't do enough research. Some people do too much. So for those of you who feel like analysis paralysis, put it in the calendar. Say, I'm making my opt-in on this day. And then just do it. That's what I ended up having to do. I just set a day and maybe even or you just have one day of research. Like this is my research day. I'm just going to research. And then after that, I'm done and I got to put something out there. And we're going to talk about that too. So all you need from the research, right? You don't need to understand everything. You just need to hone in on a problem. That's how you know you're done with your research. When you understand, I have a problem that I know some people have, and I know I can create something to help them. Once you've gotten there, you can stop for a bit and go make something. So these are some format ideas to help you get making that thing that you are going to create with your research. So you're going to know what their problem is, and you're going to create something that will help them solve it. For example, one of our creators on Seva who earns a full-time living online as a wedding planner, her name is Ashlyn. She is phenomenal, and she actually builds her email list through a pricing guide. So that's one of the things she does. She also has a wedding dress guide. So what she did is she did some of the research we talked about and realized at the time people were planning a wedding, her people in particular, they were really also like stressed about the dress and they really had some burning questions. Even though she has nothing to do with the dress in relation to her service, she created a guide to help people with that problem. And therefore she was then getting the right people on her email list because people who were thinking about their dress were also people who would probably need a wedding event designer. So format is not a big deal in the sense that one is better than the other. Okay. I just want to give you lots of ideas so you can see what options you have, because hopefully it gets you thinking about what you could create. There's no wrong answer here. It's just what can you create quickly? What do you think would resonate most with your audience? And honestly, what would be fun for you? So there are a couple on this list. An email course is something you can do. If you can write a blog post, you could write an email course. That's what I did. It's 5 emails. They go out once a day for 5 days, and it teaches people how to do one thing. An email course is not a textbook. It's helping you do one thing and walking you through step by step over 5 days. So that's one of my favorites. It can be a simple download. A checklist is one of my favorites. If you're like, Issa, just tell me what to do, just do a checklist. Keep it really simple for yourself. You can always edit from there. Like I've seen people who start with a checklist. Then when it did really well, they turned it into an email course. Then they turned that email course into a video course, right? And they kept adding things to it. So once you find that problem, once you find that solution, you can kind of keep editing if you want to, but you also don't have to do that either. I'm going to switch slides here. So if you want to take a screenshot of this one, this is your last call. But again, you will get a replay of this, so you will be able to see it again. Here are some other ideas. A quick guide like Ashley and the Wedding Event Planner does. Also a digital wallpaper for any of my artists in the room. Swipe copy is something that can be really helpful if you just give people the copy that they can then basically copy and paste into an email template or something that's helping them solve one of those problems. You're writing it for them. A big key with these templates is you just want to do the work for them. That's what you want to be doing. And then my last little slide here, this is a brand new one actually, from things I've been seeing recently. So a pricing guide is what Ashley Ann does, as I mentioned, which is pretty simple and pretty fascinating to me. So if you're like really stuck and you just need to get something out there, what you could do is you could take your prices off your website if you have them there and say, hey, you can get the pricing guide here. And so you're just making sure you're getting them on your email list first, connecting with them. And those are definitely people interested in hiring you if they want to know how much you cost. So that's a pretty interesting one. I like that one. You can also do a hashtag list if you do anything with Instagram. I've seen that kind of often do really well. Tech training, cheat sheet. A really niche contest. So contests can work to build your email list, but you want to make sure it's really specific. You don't want to give away some big crazy thing that everyone would want. You only want to give away things that are so directly connected to your business and would only resonate with potential clients. Style guide, software presets for some of my photographers, creating things that other people can use to even help their own daily photography. Canva templates I've seen people create and then share do really well. It could be a list of the top tech tools that you use that might be helpful to your potential true fans, or even a free trial, depending on your type of businesses. So these are just some ideas. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. In the end, the format that will work best is the one that you will make the quickest, because you just want to get it out there and start testing it. Your format could just be one email. What really matters is the information that you're giving and that it solves a problem for someone. So don't get hung up on the format, but I just hope these give you some ideas if you're feeling stuck and wondering what it is that you could create. In the end, I encourage you to create fast and then test your idea. So don't feel like you need to put hours and hours into this opt-in. Just make something that gets the basic information out there and see what happens. And then put more time into it as you see if it's doing really well. You can even try my timer method. So I created my email course in an hour, and I was very much going through all of this research, just like some of you. And I was like, you know what? I need to just do this. And I was so busy and I was so overwhelmed. And I finally just got fed up and said, I'm making this today. I'm not going another day without getting this email course out there, because I was already building my list. I said, hey, this email course is coming soon. Once I had the idea, I put up a landing page, and I'm going to show you how to do that. That said coming soon. So I already had all these people joining my email list, and I didn't have a course for them yet. I didn't have anything. So I sat down, I set a timer for an hour. I opened up 5 emails. I spent 10 minutes each on each lesson writing it. The last 10 minutes, I edited it, and I called it beta. And I sent it out to everyone. I said, hey, this is the first draft of this course. It's in beta. Please send me the typos. Please tell me if anything doesn't make sense. So they almost became part of my beta team, my launch team, and it was fantastic. I got my opt-in out in an hour. A couple people sent me the few typos that there were, and they were very happy to do so. They loved being part of my editors, right? And it brought me a lot of relief, because I was saying, hey, this is beta. There are definitely going to be typos, versus me feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put this out, and then people are going to think it's unprofessional because of this or that. I just let them know, and it actually brought us closer together. And what shocked me most of all, truly shocked me, was that no one said, hey, you need to change this massive part. This makes no sense. Or you just rambled here. I didn't get this. I didn't get any of those. And what I realized is what I wrote quickly was actually what I knew really well. And so they ended up getting my best stuff, right? And there was no fluff. It was just, here's how to do it, right? And so since I didn't spend too much time making it, I created something that they wouldn't have to spend too much time implementing, which means they'd actually got a result. And that built our relationship, and that built that trust, because now something has gotten better in their life because of my opt-in. That's actually what you wanted to do. It's not just a trick of like, hey, get on my email list because this thing sounds really good. You actually wanted to do something good for them. And we're all really busy, right? We don't have a lot of time. So this doesn't need to be huge. It just needs to give them a result. And if you still need ideas, because I know we have a lot of really cool, interesting, and unique businesses out there, you can Google email marketing for photographers, email marketing for wedding planners, email marketing for hand lettering. There is probably a blog out there for you. There is a lot of content out there right now. And so if you're in a really specific niche and you just are like, I just want to know what might work for me, I need even more specific ideas, I want to see what people are doing in my particular industry, you can Google it. I know that sounds funny to say, but there's such great content out there, and I could do a whole webinar just on opt-ins for photographers. But I know if you're in the lettering business, you're going to be like, this is not going to help me. So I do want you to know that you can go search for this, because there's probably going to be a lot of really good stuff for you. Ashlyn, can you tell us a little bit about one of your best opt-ins that have helped grow your list, but especially, grow your business or get you more clients at the same time?
Yeah, and I'll go back to maybe when I was at the beginning stages of getting started. First of all, I really want to focus and highlight what you said. Focus on getting your people a small win. If you're like me, and I know a lot of us are, where we want to pack in everything. I know some of the names that are tuning in here, and I know that you're like me, and you will get in your own way. So exactly what she's saying, you want to get people with their freebie, you want to get them one quick win. You want to get them a little result. So if you can focus on just we are so close to our expertise that you know so much. So really just to give you to come to what she's asked me, some of the best opt-ins, I did a 5-day free about page course. Is anybody super old school and has been there? My assistant, Kate, was on that. That was one of the first opt-ins I did. It was just focused on one page on your website. I did some desktop wallpapers. They did okay for me. I did, a good one for the calligraphy side, wedding dressing etiquette cheat sheet. So it went through and told you when you are pulling your list together for your wedding, how do you, when it's doctor and doctor, what do you do? When it's judge and mister, what do you do? That kind of thing. So those are some that worked really well in the early days.
That's so cool. I love that. And someone was asking, Lauren said, how do you feel about going super narrow focus? My brand has been built on connecting with twin mamas, but a wider group is all new mamas. Should I focus on the twin mama, small subset, or all to make more of a net? So I just saw that, Lauren, and it caught my eye. Ashlyn, do you have an answer for that?
I try it. The best thing about when you're, I'm getting so excited, when you're playing around with your opt-ins, you get to try constantly here, even girls in my mastermind level where people have big businesses, we're just trying. We'll put out an opt-in. If it gets a few subs, that's cool, it just didn't resonate. But then I'm always taken off guard. So I would try it, try the twin thing, put it on Pinterest. You never know. Sometimes the things that I think I'm it'll do okay, blows up. And then sometimes that's why I like your timer trick too, because I sometimes think something's going to be awesome and I'll spend so long on it. And then I'll put it out and I'm okay, we've had things that did a little bit better. So
right.
Let's try it.
I love that you brought that up, and you can all see even Ashlyn, who's an amazing pro at this, still tests things and still doesn't know what's going to happen. And that is true amongst anything really, in business, in creativity. I interview people who've won Oscars and they'll tell me they'll make a movie and no one knows if it's going to be good. They just don't know. Even movies that ended up being pretty amazing movies that have made billions of dollars over the past 25 years. When they put it out, they didn't even know if it was going to be good. No one knows. So all you can do is test and put it out there. And that is what I see everyone making a full-time living online doing. So try it out. That's what I love. And I love the idea of twins. I will say I have seen people have a lot of success going really, really focused on who they're for. That I've seen that work really, really well. So if that's where your heart is, if that's what you know, especially, oh my gosh, I say going for it, because that is how you really also capture attention in such a noisy world. is you say something that someone's scrolling through and they're like, oh, you're talking to me, like you get me. And that is something I see working really, really well. So one thing I want to encourage you all to do today is choose one of those research methods. So whether it's looking on Amazon today before you go to bed and reading just one review, begin right after this workshop. Like even if you just Google your topic and see what people are searching for, just do one little thing. Because for me, that creates a lot of motivation just to remember that like there are actual people out there who want to hire you, who want to get on your email list, who want to learn from you. And I think research, for me anyway, is a really good reminder that there are people out there who I can really help. And I think that's a really good motivator too. So these are those research methods. One more time, if you're thinking, which one should I do today? Here are they for you if you want to do a quick screenshot. Number 3, and you're like, wait, we're only on number 3. The others are going to go real fast. We spend a lot of time on number 1 and 2 because if you skip 1 and 2 and you just jump all to the others, 3 through 10 will not work if 1 and 2 aren't solid. So I want you to feel really good about that. All of the others are optional. All of the others are for you to pick and choose from based on what makes sense for your business and your potential clients. So number 3, as a way to build your email list, is implementing content upgrades. And a content upgrade is just like everything we've talked about. It's just a specific opt-in related to a specific piece of content. So you're giving someone something of value in exchange for an email address, but it's usually connected to help someone take action. So for example, it might be a blog post that is a recipe, and then the content upgrade is going to be enter your email here to get the grocery list, right? So it's something really simple that's just connected to a blog post, connected to a podcast episode. I'm sure if you listen to podcasts, I'm sure you have heard people say, go here to get the show notes and you can download this thing, right? That's a content upgrade. Or even people have what they're called cards on YouTube, and you can have a content upgrade on YouTube. And I've met some YouTubers who are growing their email list a lot that way. So a content upgrade, if you're in this for the long haul, if you really want to earn a living through email, and this is something you want to do over the long period of time, content upgrades are what a lot of people who are earning a full-time living online, these are something they tell me grows their list consistently over time. So in the beginning, it might be slow, but then all of a sudden they're getting this bulk of subscribers every month because of the content upgrades they had created maybe throughout the year. So this is an example of a content upgrade that I actually turned my free email course into a content upgrade too. So you can also use your main opt-in as a content upgrade. So once you have that main thing that you're doing, that you're creating in exchange for someone's email, you can also turn it into a form that you put right in a blog post that people can enter their email and then keep scrolling and keep reading your blog. And so you wouldn't want to just paste it anywhere. You're going to paste it where it's relevant. So anytime you write a blog post about your topic, anytime you write specifically about something that relates to that opt-in, you can enter it in that blog post, right? Reuse the same thing. You can put it in a lot of different places. If you're being interviewed on a podcast or you're doing a YouTube show or anything like that, you want to be sharing your opt-in, right? And you can also make it a content upgrade too. Another thing I've seen work really well for people who are growing their email list is medium.com. So if you're not blogging on your own website or you're looking to do something where there's already traffic, you could do something on Medium and you don't have to blog a ton. Maybe you just try writing one article about your topic and seeing what happens. And so you can write an article based on one of those pain points your people have. And then you can use something like Upscribe. It actually connects with Seva, formerly ConvertKit, and you can then put a content upgrade right in Medium and people can get that content upgrade. You can see I call it a bonus. That's just something I like to do. You can kind of play around with the phrasing of that, but then you can gather emails through that blog post too. So this is a great place to test things as well. And Medium is somewhere that's already getting traffic. And it's very simple to use as well. So if you're overwhelmed, or maybe if you don't even have a big website yet, you could just write something here today. You could use Upscribe, or you could even just link to a Seva landing page, and I'll show you how to make that too. And if you're wondering what would I write about, all that research you do, just solve one of those problems, right? Or start writing about your experience with one of those problems, and then give them something to help them solve that problem as the content upgrade. And then as your little action item, I would say plan a content upgrade to add to your most popular content. So if you have content already, if you're already blogging or podcasting or doing something on YouTube or anywhere online, go look at your analytics. Where are people already coming to the most? Maybe brainstorm what could you create and add to that blog post or add to that place where you're already getting traffic. You don't always have to reinvent the wheel either. So number 4 is hosting or guest hosting a free webinar. And I put JV in there because that stands for joint venture. So if webinars are something that you think would work really well for your audience and you'd really like to look into, if you type in JV webinar, those are webinars you do with a partner. Those can really help you grow your list. And if you type that into Google, you'll get a ton of stuff. That's almost a whole other webinar on webinars. This is a big one. I'm just going to breeze by it today, but I want you to know that it works. So if this is something that is intriguing to you, I highly recommend looking into this. It can definitely be worth your time, but it's certainly going to take some time. Live streaming has also been something that I've seen working really, really well as well. And I think I mentioned that later when it comes to traffic, but you could kind of use some of the live streaming tools and use just like a Seva landing page and say, hey, register for this webinar. And then in the email that goes to them automatically when they join your email list to join the webinar, we'll tell them, hey, here's the link where you'll go to view this webinar or view this live stream. So you don't have to have a ton of fancy tech, even like we have right now. You could do a free service. The key, what makes this a list builder, is when you use a landing page, and I'll show you how to make one, where people would then register for it. So then they're joining your email list and you're giving them this free content. And if you're wondering, what would I talk about on the webinar? What would me and my partner talk about? It will still go back to that research. What are their problems and what are maybe 3 steps you can share with them to help them solve that problem? And you can do it in something like a webinar. And it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be formal. It's just about it being personal and giving someone a quick win and really teaching them something. The 5th thing I want to show you is how you can actually double your email list with one automated email. So I'm going to show you some stuff in screen share. I'm going to tell you about that free stuff, and then I will run through some more traffic techniques that we'll end with. But I want to get you that free stuff first for any of you who might have to go at the top of the hour. I want to make sure you have a chance at that. So I'm going to show you how you can double your email list with one email and how you can set up this landing page that I've been talking about. And then we'll get to all of that free stuff. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So this is my Seva demo account. And so what I'm going to start doing is creating that landing page that I'm telling you about. And I'm going to go fast, but you can go back and see this in the replay. And I also want you to know that you can create it pretty fast and pretty simply. So I'm starting by clicking create form. And I'm going to make a landing page because that's something you can create really quickly. It's great for testing things, and it's really great as something you can get out there right away. So you can choose these different templates. I'm going to choose the profile one because it's just one of my personal favorites. You can do whatever one looks good to you. And I'm going to name this so we can find it later, this 710 landing page for July 10th here. And then I'm going to edit this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start by clicking on this little picture here at the top. This is for your picture. Now, you don't have to use this template, but I think it's great to use your picture. People know who they're doing business with, right? They know you. Doing something really personally can make a big difference. So there's my picture. Then all I've got to do is start typing. So this is where you're going to want to put your pain point question. So as you do that research, right, what is it that you're going to solve, or what is that problem that you're going to help them with? Show them you understand it. So if you're talking to mamas of twins, you're going to say a question of like, that's just going to speak right to their heart. I've got a copywriter pro in the room, so I just have to ask Ashlyn, any landing page tips for anyone here?
Let's go with the twin one. I feel like my audience knows, and y'all know, I'm pregnant, and twins run in my family, and I was so nervous that they run on Wes's side and my side. I was like, great. We're going to kick this off with twins. So I think that that one, I mean, if you do, did you do birth coaching? I think you might have said you do birth coaching. I don't know. But yeah, I think like that was one thing I was really nervous about with twins. Like, how on earth do you get through the birth process twice back to back? That was something that like I kept thinking about before we knew what was actually inside. So
I love that. Good. So I love that. And so as you all see, like Ashlyn's just speaking from her own experience, and that's what you're going to be looking for in your research. And then that your question will just come to you. It'll be there. And also lots of congratulations to Ashlyn. I guess everyone didn't know. So they're all wishing you their sweet congrats. What a lovely group we have here today. Oh my gosh, I love it. So you're going to put that question in the title of your landing page, and then you're going to tell them what they're going to get. So maybe it's a free guide or free email course or free checklist. And you can even use my favorite 2 words in the email marketing language, coming soon. So you don't have to have it ready. I started building my list before I had anything ready. You heard Ashlyn started building her list before she knew what in the world she was going to send to people. That's okay. That's good. Like, build your list. The biggest regret I hear people say, and truly they say this to me, people who are the leaders in this industry will say, oh, my only regret is I didn't start my email list sooner. And I'm honestly always shocked by that, because I'm like, you're one of the people who started email lists before anyone was starting an email list. What do you mean sooner? You were doing it for anyone else. And they're like, no, I still wish it was the thing I did on day one, because they realized every day that went by that they weren't collecting emails, they were missing out on people. They were missing out on connections. They were missing out on those relationships. Even if your basic form up on your website is only collecting like 1 subscriber every day, that's still 365 people in a year, right? So it's better to have something up than nothing. So coming soon is great. It doesn't have to be ready. And then here, you're going to tell them what they're going to get, right? So something like, this will help you, and then fill in the blank there, right? Tell them, how is this going to help you, like, find relief and quell your anxiety over giving birth twice in one day. I never thought about it that way. That would be scary. You'd probably want to get some help with that, or even just some relief, right? So tell them what they're going to get. Speak to them. Tell them how this is going to help them. That's what this is all about. You can even change all the text. You can change the button color, which I like to do. If you have branding colors, you can totally change it to those particular colors. You can also change the background color to match your brand, or you can even choose a picture. So I have like a picture of my desk that I took one day, my table, when I thought it was all cute. So I put that on the back of some of these demos, but this is just a picture I took. So you can design one yourself. You can take a picture of maybe even a sample of what it is you're creating, or you can just choose a color. Keep it simple. Don't flip out about the design. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just get something going. So I'm going to save that. And if I click share right now here, it is going to give me this link. I'm going to click to copy. And this link now is live. So if I open up a new tab and paste this link here, this landing page is ready to go. Do you see that? I could share this link on social media. I could text it. I could email it to people, and they could start to join my list. I could say, hey, I have this new guide. So all of my analysis paralysis people in the chat room, I've seen you all. You could just get this going today if you wanted to, right? Just put it out there. And Emily had a great question. Can you customize the link? It's a live link, so you can do whatever you like with it, meaning if you use pretty links on your own website or forwarding, you can have this forward somewhere. I've had people, once they really know what their opt-in is, some of them even buy a URL. That's just, like, for example, Summer Tannenhauser has an email course about Pinterest, and it's called freepincourse.com. And it redirects to her landing page. So you don't have to get that advanced until later, but you can also use something like TinyURL, some of those free things where you can customize a smaller link. You can absolutely do that. All you need is this one to make sure you make that transition. So very good question. You can also create a form and have it directly on your website too. That's actually just as simple as this process as well. But I love to show landing pages because it's something you can just get going right away. You can also use to test lots of different things. And then you're going to want them to get that free thing you promised them, right? So how you do that is you click on this little email icon here, this little letter, and you're going to click send incentive email. That is what is going to deliver your free thing. So if you've created like a workbook, for example, you would click this download button, you would choose file, and I've got this free workbook demo here. I'm just going to upload that, and that is where it stays. So anyone who joins this landing page, like even if I just sent to someone right now, once I hit save, once they enter their email here, they're going to get an automatic email where they will get this free workbook, and they will get a button so they can start downloading it. If you were sending them to a video or a link of some kind, you can just put that there and it would redirect them to that link. But say we're doing a download, what they will see is they'll get an automated email that you can see by clicking edit email contents. So when you click that, it will show you this email. This is what they will get. And you'll say something like download, the free guide or whatever it is you're giving away. You can change all this text, make it sound like you, and then this is going to be your download button. And then once they click on that, they will automatically get that thing that you uploaded for them. So if you're doing a pricing guide or a wedding guide, some of those things we talked about, once they click on this, it will automatically start downloading for them. That's it. If that is all you do, you are doing so much better than most people. You don't need to have a plan of what you're going to do next yet. Just focus on this, get something out there, start connecting with your people, and see what happens. I love, Susan said, looks way too easy, LOL. And Leanna said, this looks so easy. It is easy, I promise. This is really my demo account. That's it. This landing page is live right now. And then the last thing I want to show you before I tell you about that free stuff, which is coming next, is that double your email list email. So this automation, this automated email that delivers your free thing, that will happen automatically. There's also a way to set up other automated emails, and I want to show you one that can really help you grow your list. So I'm going to go into automations. I'm going to click a new automation here. So at the top of this automation, I'm going to choose that form we just made. So I'm going to find it, 710 landing page. This is the landing page here, and this is kind of like a place to plan out what you want to happen in email. That's how I think of this. It's like my big old planner. And then all the people who join this form, I then want them to get an email. And I'm going to click action, email sequence. And I've already made this email. So I'm just going to go find it. And I made that under sequences here. Double your email list email. I'm going to add that. So now everyone who gets in this landing page, they'll get the free thing. And then they'll get this email that I've written. And you're essentially asking them, and it's going to come after one day. And it's going to ask them, do they know one person? So first, you're going to ask them, how did they like that free wedding guide, for example? You're going to talk about how you really hope it helps them. Maybe you ask them a question. And then you can ask them to do you a huge favor by sharing it with one other bride they know or one other mama of twins that they know. This is a great way to double your email list, because as you start to connect with your true fans and your true potential clients, most likely they're going to know at least one other person who's planning a wedding or one other person who has twins or who might be having twins, right? Because we tend to try to connect with people who like the same things as we do or maybe in the same stage of life. So your email list is actually one of your best assets for growing your email list. So this is a template that you'll also get access to, possibly actually getting this email. So all you would have to do is fill in the blanks. So I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. So here comes the free stuff. And then I'll run through a couple other traffic ideas for you before we go. But if you want to try some of this for yourself, we have a free month for you. So if you go to convertkit.com/Ashlyn710 for July 10th, which is today, you can get a free month of Seva, formerly ConvertKit, and there is no credit card required. So yay, we got a dance from Ashlyn, which I love. So if you go right there in a browser, set up your free month, you will get a free month of Seva, which I just showed you. You will also get some bonuses as a thank you just for being on this workshop. So one of those bonuses that you'll get, and you'll get this in a separate email once you set up your free month, you'll go to convertkit.com/Ashlyn710. And then once you set up that free month, you'll get an email with bonuses like this. So one of the things you'll get is this book, Authority, written by Nathan Barry. You'll get the e-copy, the audiobook, and case studies of people making six figures online. You'll also get that instant automation that I just showed you. So with that landing page that I made and that double your email list email, you'll get a link in that bonus email. All you'll have to do is click on that link and it will automatically copy that automation into your account, so that all you have to do is go in and make sure you change the profile picture. You want it to be your picture, not me. And you'll change the background and you'll insert your free thing and your text. And then it'll also already be connected to that double your email list email, so that all you have to do is fill in the blanks. And then when you're ready, in the top right-hand corner, you'll just make that automation live when you're ready for it to get going. And if you already have a paid account like Kirsten, you're already a Seva, formerly ConvertKit customer, then you will also get all of these bonuses. So the free month is just for those of you who are starting out, but all of you who are current customers, Vanessa will be running our own automation. And as long as you register for this webinar with the same email that you use for your ConvertKit Seva account, you will then get all those bonuses. But don't worry, even if you didn't sign up for this webinar with the same email, just email help@convertkit.com and they will give you those bonuses. Let them know you were here live with Isa and Ashlyn. They'll know who you are and they'll know what you're supposed to get. There's still more free stuff. One of the things you'll also get when you set up your free month at convertkit.com/Ashlyn7110 is Ashlyn's $179 email marketing toolkit, which is pretty phenomenal. Ashlyn, do you want to tell people what is in this?
Sure. So that includes a lot of people are asking, like, what do you use for this? If you're not good at photography, what resources do you use? What do you use to make opt-ins? So this has a list of everything that we use in my business for that. And also, I know that planning out sequences can seem like really confusing for our industry of creatives. So there's 3 sample sequences. There's one for a blogger, a photographer, and a stationer lettering person. So you can just use those to inspire ideas of how you may want to do a sequence, so you can bring people in with a freebie and then get them to a point where they either want to buy a product or work with you in a one-on-one capacity.
Yes, I love this. And there's nothing better than seeing examples of what other people are doing who are doing it really well. So you'll get this totally for free when you set up your free month. And Carly was asking if we currently use a different email provider, is there an easy way to merge from another account? There is, Carly. If you want to tell us which one you're merging from, then Vanessa will give you info on exactly how to do that. But it's really as simple as exporting a CSV file, and then you import it into Seva, and then all your people are there. So it's really simple, but we'll walk you through that as well. And then this bonus is for those of you who are here live. It's just for those of you who are here live. So some of you were asking about the expiration dates on all of this. So this link, convertkit.com/Ashlyn7110, this is just for this special workshop. So this will disappear. And this bonus in particular will disappear as soon as we log off. So this is a product to profit masterclass. It is a $200 masterclass that you will get separately in that email. And so as a thank you for being here on this whole workshop. So this will help you really dig deeper on growing your audience. For those of you who have any kind of digital product, there's some pretty amazing stuff there. I especially love Module 5, pricing and positioning. So whether you're a product-based business or a service-based business, the way you price what you do can have a serious effect on your income. And Module 5 really kind of blew my mind. I'm an artist first. So the pricing stuff, when I heard this, I was just blown away. I was like, oh, wow, that's really fascinating and makes a lot of sense. And I never would have thought of it that way. So if you just even want to skip to Module 5, I think that one is like worth the whole $200. So you won't be paying anything. You will just be getting this for free as a thank you for setting up your free month. So these are all the things. It is $486 worth of things. And to get them all you've got to do is go to convertkit.com/Ashlyn7110 and you'll get all the stuff all for free. And what you'll see when you go to convertkit.com/Ashlyn710 is something like this. So for those of you who are asking, how do I switch from another provider? You would click migrating from another provider. If you were one of those 0 people, you'll probably click I'm brand new. And then it will walk you through asking you a couple questions. If you don't know the answers to any of the questions it asks you, don't worry about it. Just pick something. You won't mess anything up. These questions are just designed to make sure we email you stuff that will really help you get started, specifically based on where you are right now. And then you'll get to this place once you answer the questions. This is the magical button that gets you all the bonuses to get started. So once you've clicked get started, you will get the bonuses sent to you in a separate email. So what you're doing here is you're creating your Seva, formerly ConvertKit account. So you'll be creating your email address or entering the email address that you want to set up your account with, and then creating your password. So if you have different businesses or you want to send from different email addresses, you can absolutely do that. This is just your login credentials. That's all you're doing right here. And then once you click get started, you'll be in, and you'll be in your own ConvertKit Seva account. And what I want you to pay attention to is in the top right-hand corner, that 30 days remaining. That is what you want to pay attention to so that you know when your free month ends. And now you don't have to put in a credit card to get this free month. You'll still get all of the bonuses. And so if you forget about the 30 days remaining and it goes away and you go past day 31, it's not going to charge you anything, right? Because you won't have to put your credit card in. But if you don't get a paralysis by analysis and you do go for this, right? Like we've been talking about, and you make your landing page and you want to keep your automated email sending and you want to keep your landing page live, you will want to pay attention at 30 days remaining, because if it goes past 30 days and you haven't put a credit card information in, it will stop after those 30 days. So if you want to keep that going, all you have to do is click the 30 days remaining or 5 days remaining, whatever it says at the time you're ready to do this. You will click that days remaining button, and then you'll see this pop up. So this is what will keep everything live after those 30 days if you want to stick around and be a part of this with us. So also, I always like to say for my overachievers in the room, because people who attend webinars are just pretty awesome people and tend to be a lot of overachievers. You're my favorite. So if that's you and you're the kind of person who it's just like, I'm ready to do this. I really want to get serious about this. I don't want to forget about it. I'm just going to put in my card now or tomorrow. If that's you, I just want you to know that even if you put your card in today or in 3 days from now, you still wouldn't be billed until day 31. So no matter when you put your card in, this month is free for you as a thank you for being on this workshop. We don't have a free month like just hanging around on our website. This is very special for creators like you who take the time out to do a webinar, to hang out and to learn, like Lauren with a twin mom brain. Oh my gosh, you have twins and you're here. I mean, that's pretty cool. So that's why you've got this free month. Chelsea's already signed up, I see, and Ashton. Let us know, because Vanessa likes to give you lots of emoji celebrations, and we'll give you a shout out too. So I also recommend setting a reminder in your calendar for like 29 days from now so you don't forget. I just don't want your landing page to stop working if that's not what you want. So make sure you pay attention to that. Set a little reminder. Yay, Carly. Yay, Jeanette. And as you're setting that reminder, also set aside some time this month to create your opt-in. Set aside that hour to do the little timer method. Just make something and put it up there, right? Maybe set aside another hour to set up your Seva account, right? Get everything kind of ready, maybe migrate over, right? Maybe set aside 30 minutes for research, right? It's really about focus versus a ton of time. Oh my gosh, 30 people already signing up, Vanessa said. That's amazing. Yay. So cool.
Okay,
and then,
can I say one thing real quick? You said there's a lot of, I feel like no wonder Vanessa, there's lots of questions. Make sure she's answering them like crazy. Make sure if you have a question, you drop it in the Q&A box so she can answer it there. And then Issa, when you get to a point, I want to say one thing about pricing, just mental note.
Okay, good. This is a perfect next slide to do that, because I get a lot of questions about pricing, about why do people choose Seva over other platforms, right? And so what I did is I asked our creators. So these are not my answers. These are what creators who started with ConvertKit, switched to ConvertKit. These are the things I hear over and over and over again. So if you're wondering, this is what they say. And I think the one I hear most of all is, especially when it comes to paying for it, right? It's that 24/7 support. So people like Vanessa on live chat, behind help@convertkit.com. Those are real people. They are my friends. We all hung out last week in Boise for a conference, and they care so much about helping you do this. We are for photographers and wedding planners and creators, right? And we know that you're so good at what you do, and it doesn't mean you're also an expert in email. And so we want to do that for you. So that's a lot of the reasons why I've heard people start with us or switch to us, is because some of the other platforms, they may be really great for a giant 1,000-person company and have a ton of crazy features because there's someone whose only job is to manage that email system, right? And it doesn't make sense though for a creator who has twins and who can't spend every day all day on email. They need to create something, they need to work, and then they need to get back to creating or back to client work, right? And so that's who Seva's really for. And that's why a lot of people come to us as well. So Ashlyn, why do you do this workshop? Why do you like Seva? And tell us all what you're thinking about pricing. I'm excited to hear.
Okay, the first thing I thought of when I saw that the $29 a month, like that, obviously you get some great stuff today, and I recommend trying anything for free just to see, do you like it? Like learn about it a little bit more. But like when I saw that, I immediately flashed back to 2 years ago when I went from, I think, using either a free email marketing platform where it was like $10 a month to learning about Seva ConvertKit. And I liked that it was more robust and that there was more that I could do. But I just remember looking at that $29 a month thinking, like, I cannot add that to already what I have in my business. And it held me back a little bit at first. So I just wanted to say, if that's anybody else here, I was in your shoes, and I just remember seeing that number and being like, I can't add another expense right now. My husband's going to kill me. But think about it. How can you make, like I tell anybody who's thinking about purchasing a course or anything, a template from our shop, how can you make that back, quickly figure out how to make it back and put that in a system. So once I saw that it was going to be $29 a month, I raised my rates $29 on like a package that was like, I think it was like a $2,000 package. You know, like just raise it, like figure out how you can make that little bit back, because I promise you it's better to go ahead and start than let that hold you. Like just gamify it and monetize it on how you can get it back. I just wanted to say that because I used to freak out about sending money every month on email marketing.
That is such a cool idea. Just raise your price $29. Yeah. You raise your package. I love that, Ashlyn. I've never heard anyone say that. That's really, really cool, because it's so aligned with what we say, is in that we really want you to be making more than $29 a month through email. Like that's our goal. That's what it should be. And that's what we want for you too. And that's what we have a lot of education, a lot more webinars to help you do just that. That's definitely the goal. So I love it. And Kate said sometimes when you spend the money, it actually forces you to commit to growing that list. And Kate, I've actually had people tell me that once they started paying, they were like, well, I better get serious about this. And then they started actually increasing their income because of what they were doing with email, because they were motivated. So I love that. I love that so much. Lauren said, God, I want to bottle all of this energy up. Can we do this every day? Oh my gosh, Lauren, that's like the sweetest thing anyone's ever said in the chat. Thank you. So for any of you who have to go, those of you with twins and other things going on, this is one last chance for all of those bonuses. I am going to stick around. Ashlyn, do you have about 10 more minutes to run through traffic stuff? Okay, great. So I will stick around and give you those last few tips about building traffic. So if you're wondering, okay, I've got this landing page, I've got this opt-in, how do I get people to find it? We're going to go through that really quickly. But if you have to go, I want to make sure you have access to all the free stuff for showing up and for being here. So thank you so, so much for any of you who have to go. But now I'm going to finish us off with some of those traffic tips. So how people get the right people to find that email opt-in so that they can then join their list. So it's traffic time. It is your job to invite your people to your party. Even rock stars have to do this. And I say this because it's what I remind myself, right? Sometimes we make something and we feel like, oh, people should just come, right? Because we made it and it's great and we put our whole heart into it. But even people who we think of as having it easy because they're making something that's just so cool, like music, they don't just drop an album and go hide in a corner, right? That doesn't work. They have to go to every radio station. They go and sign albums, especially when they're starting out, right? They'll open for a band that's similar to theirs to start to meet those people, right? They will really make those one-on-one connections. And I see a lot of people making a full-time living online who are still doing this. They'll still DM people, right? They'll still answer every comment. It's about starting building those relationships one-to-one. Even some of the biggest name stars, right? They'll still take some time to make those personal connections, right? So you want to take some time to go find your people. Even Taylor Swift still invites people to her house, which I think is kind of crazy at the level of fame she is now. I didn't think she did that anymore. And then I saw she still did. When she dropped an album, she's famous enough where she probably could just drop an album and let it do what it does, and she'd still make plenty of money. But she makes so much money because she also still does the things we're talking about at the beginner level. She invites a few people to her house to then share her music with them. So that's how I want you to think about traffic. You'll want to put some work in it, but it should hopefully feel more like fun, connection, community, versus just like blasting people with things. You don't have to do it that way. So number 6 is, first, you're going to want to research where your true fans go online now for help with your topic. So research, you can see, is a big theme here, right? So look at your analytics, find out where people are coming from already in your email tool or in your website tool. Ask people where they go. Think about where you go and Google your topic. So we're talking about twin mamas a lot. That's just something that has come up, right? So you'd want to look at and find out what are the most popular websites that people with twins go. I bet there's quite a few actually, right? Where are you going? And then when you're Googling, what you're going to be looking for is what are the websites, right? Where are the top places articles about this are being written? It will give you a really good clue about where these people hang out. For example, if a lot of Pinterest stuff comes up when you Google, that might clue you in, I need to maybe look into this whole Pinterest thing. My people really spend a lot of time here, right? But if your people aren't really into Pinterest, that might not be a good place for you to worry about traffic, right? It depends on who you're for, which is why we started and spent so much time on number 1, because it's really what matters to everything. You can also ask people, where are you going online right now to get help with your topic? So that would be my one recommendation to do today, is ask at least one person. You can even text someone or DM them right now, or pop it into one of your social media groups and just ask people, or ask one person, where are they going online right now to get help with your topic? It's also a great reply text. If you do that mass text that I sent you or showed you, once they answer, you can say, thank you so much. One last question. Where do you go online right now to get help with this topic, if they're really related to what you're doing? Then number 7, to build traffic, you can make that landing page a part of your signature on all of your outgoing emails, both from your email list and your regular old Gmail account, right? Just say free guide on this and then link it to your landing page. That opt-in almost becomes what you share more than your website, because that's where you're going to make that connection. You can always draw people back to your website through your email list. You can also make that the link on all of your social media profiles. So like Instagram and Twitter, for example, they give you a link instead of your website. It can be, get this free thing. You can say in the profile text, do a little emoji arrow of some kind or something, and then that link will be the free guide or the free email course. Number 8 is you can actually interview leaders or people who might help people in your topic for a podcast, a YouTube video, a blog, or you can offer to be a guest on podcasts and YouTube channels and blogs with like a guest post. And you don't need to reach out to the biggest names in your industry, because that might take a while. You can start with just someone who's at your same level or stage in your creative career. Just guest posting or connecting with someone who's doing the same thing, but maybe in a little different area. Connecting your audiences, connecting your email list can be a great way to go. And then a little bonus, Pat Flynn shared with me this one question roundup that I'm just obsessed with for list building, where you can go into LinkedIn groups and Facebook groups and search for your topic. So maybe twin mama groups, and then you're going to look for who the admin is, right? Because the admin's probably an expert in this topic, or definitely someone who connects with it, and tell them you're writing a blog, for example, and ask them to just, through email, answer one question so that you can feature them. You can feature maybe 5 of these admin groups, and then in that blog post, once that blog post is posted, you share the link with them and say, hey, I just featured you in this post. Thank you so much. Feel free to share it, but no pressure. And most likely they're going to share it in that group. And you're going to then be introduced to all of these new people who are directly related to what you're doing. So you don't want to expect it. You don't want to pressure them. You just want to feature them, highlight, give. But it might be a really great way to get in front of people, which I love this traffic idea. Number 9, creating frequent and consistent content on your preferred channel. So that means blogging, podcasting, YouTube, Pinterest, and just using those keywords that people are using to look for you. This is a great way to build consistent traffic over time. This one can take a while, but it's one that definitely works in implementing keywords. It's also known as SEO, if you've heard that word. So that's a whole other big thing, but it's something that definitely works too. So if this is something that you think really appeals to you and who your people are, I would recommend looking into that. And then number 10 is, as you do that research, if you find that there is a social media platform where your true fans, like, they really hang out, they are there, then I would say you can look into how you can use that social media platform to grow your email list and to grow your traffic. I think the biggest mistake people make is they try to do all the things on all of the platforms all at once, and it's overwhelming and it feels impossible. So what I recommend is focus on just one at a time, and start with the one that your people are on the most. And what I see a lot of people doing is, once they find that one, they do things like automation. So they look into other softwares that help them pre-schedule their accounts and pre-schedule their content, so they're not like on their phone every other second, but they are being consistent, because to have success on a social media platform, you want to be posting often. You want to really invest in it. I see some of them even doing ads to their email list, not doing ads to a paid thing, but actually doing ads to their landing page, which I see a lot. And then also using that live stream to really connect with people and then say, hey, this is also where you can join my email list. So that's one that works really well too. And then our last thing before we go, Ashlyn, I think you might be frozen. So if you can still hear me, maybe turn off your video and turn it back on. Vanessa, let me know, is Ashlyn frozen for you, or is it just me? So if she comes back, we'll ask her what has brought her the most traffic. And then the last one is this: email 100 people one by one. So this bonus right here is one of my favorites. If you just need something really simple and really manageable, you can just email 100 people your landing page, and you can do something like this. So you can copy and paste this if you want. You can screenshot this if you want, and you can directly email people and say, hey, like, this is what I just created. And if this would help you, or if it would help someone else, please pass it along. So it should be 100 people you know. You can direct message them, email them, text them, whatever makes most sense for how you communicate with them, and literally ask them. I have heard of people, literally one person in particular with 17,000 people on her email list now. Oh my gosh. And she started it just like this, directly emailing 100 people. So this works really well too, to build traffic. So what I would recommend is picking your favorite traffic technique, starting with it and committing to it for 60 days. So I just showed you quite a few. You don't need to do all of them. Just pick one that really resonated with you, one that you think fits with your lifestyle, fits with what you're interested in, and really focus on just that for 60 days. Ignore everything else, see how that works, and then go from there. Either double down on it if it's working, or if it's just not working, but you did put in the time, then maybe look into another strategy. Hi, Ashlyn. You're back.
Sorry, that was weird. And I was like looking at the screen like, I can't text you back that I know I'm frozen, but
no worries. So we're just about to head out. I want to give everyone these bonuses one more time. If you go to Ashlyn or convertgut.com/Ashlyn7110, you can get those. And before we go, Ashlyn, what has brought you the most traffic when it comes to growing your email list?
Yeah, it's interesting right now. I think quiz for sure.
A quiz?
Yeah, it's been like one of our most successful opt-ins ever. I know there were some questions on that earlier, and some people were asking about what the software that I've used, that my clients have used, that we've built funnels out on. That's a little more advanced, but it's inside that document that Issa showed that you get if you sign up. So
awesome. It's in the bonus. I love it. And how do you get people to find the quiz? What has been most successful for you in terms of driving traffic to the quiz?
Yeah, do you know we've never even put ad dollars behind it? So it's all been organic. Pinterest. I was saying earlier, but like your Instagram bio, kind of like what you were saying with social media, your Instagram bio should drive to your free thing. Don't like Issa said, like more important than your website. Get your people the people that want that thing are going to want what else you have. So, and if you want to make a smaller landing page that has a couple of options, that could be what you do too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ashlyn. Thank you everyone for coming. This is your last chance for the Product to Profit $200 masterclass, because we're
about to head out. But thank you so much for coming. If you have any questions that you think of later, just email help@convertkit.com. If you wake up tomorrow morning and you're like, hey, where are those bonuses that were supposed to be emailed to me? If you don't see them for some reason by tomorrow, just email help@convertkit.com. Tell them you're on this workshop with Isa and Ashlyn. They know who you are, and they will make sure to get you those bonuses. So thank you all so much. You'll see us back in your inbox in a couple of hours with a replay of this. You can go back to any of your favorite slides. Ashlyn said, thank you all for bringing killer content. Totally worth our time. And Lauren said, totally in all caps too. Thank you so much. That really means a lot because I truly know how valuable your time is. Ashlyn, thank you so much for inviting me. Anything else you want to say?
This is fun.
Good. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Kate. Please tell them thank you for us as well. And thank you, Chris and Valerie and Emily, for your very kind words, for hanging out with us for almost an hour and a half. That might be a record. Thank you, Julie. She said, thank you, ladies. Super informative. Looking forward to building my list. That's what I want to hear. Thank you so much, Ashlyn. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.